Hey, what's going on YouTube? Marine X back at it again. The newest gear that you may want to check out, especially if some of your gear's been disappointing you lately. So I'll link up anything down below that I can find. Most will be affiliate links. Some may not be, but this is some stuff that I've been checking out lately. First, we got to start off with like just a slew of new flashlights. Now, I recently did a video on the Wuben X1 Pro. Now, I've reminded you guys that in my video, I had a prototype. I finally got my production model. The big difference between my prototype and the production model, it feels like the production model is just like literally feels lighter. And I haven't put these on an actual scale to see if that's so, but it does feel like they changed the build up a little bit to make it lighter. And on the final production model, they put an additional warning. So they put warning, lock when not in use, and they say click it 4 times, and then mine doesn't have that. So that's the only thing that I could like clearly see when it came. It's just the different feel of it. This is about almost 13,000 lumens, very functional flashlight. Full review if you want to check it out. And so technically it's new gear as in it just released, but I've had mine for my prototype for about 4 months. It is a good flashlight. I've been mostly using it for a bike light, but it does have a good spot beam, flood beam. And this bad boy is running on two 2700 batteries or 27100 batteries, which means you can use this as a power bank. Just a very good, powerful light. If you're looking for something for search and rescue, for a rucking light, if you want something that can just illuminate a tree line, a bump in the night type of flashlight, check out that Wuben X1 Pro. So the Olight has been doing a whole lot of releases lately. We got to just really kind of keep it real with you. I'm a big fan of Olight, and I do call them like the iPhone of the flashlight community because for a certain amount of time, they were pumping out the same model of flashlight like every year. They've slowed down quite a bit, and I can appreciate that. So now I just recently did a video on the new Arc Pro Ultra and the new colorway when they have this Onyx, which is celebrating the anniversary for Olight. Great flashlight. It's a great EDC light because it has a magnetic base. It has different light modes, a laser, UV light, spotlight. Good light to just keep in your pocket. And I think this new Onyx colorway looks really, really good. But I haven't done a video on these yet. I'll probably be doing one soon. I'm about to get ready to travel. And since I'm traveling, I'll probably take one of these with me. We have the Baton 4 Pro and the Baton 4 Ultra. I think they just call it the Baton Ultra. Now, the difference with this one is clearly is going to be just the emitter. If you really want, in my opinion, the better emitter, I would say go for the Baton Ultra. It just feels a little bit better. They built this with Olight aluminum, which I think is just a higher grade than the aluminum they're using for the Baton 4 Pro. If I had my choice between the two, and then the Baton Ultra is a little bit longer, so if that matters to you, then you may want to go with the Baton 4. Magnetic base, this just feels really good. It feels like it's giving me like Olight Warrior performance in a smaller footprint for less money. And they finally have introduced USB-C on these models, so you don't have to use the proprietary charger only for these. Very good filling flashlight. I do like the Ultra a little bit more. I like the Ultra series in these way more than I like the Pro series, whether it's the Arc Felt Pro. I would say the Ultra is just a little bit better because of how you can tell the build quality is a little bit better on the Ultra models. And I would say the same thing when it comes to the Olight flashlights as well. Speaking of Olight, they also released, which I probably won't do an independent video on, but they do have the O-Clip Pro S. So there's a good chunk of O-Clip flashlights that you can check out. The O-Clip Pro does have the white light, it has a red light, and then it has a floodlight, okay? So you do have the different options. This is a light that you may want to get if you're going to be using that red light at nighttime. You want to illuminate. It doesn't completely destroy your night vision, but you can still use it standing up in different scenarios to kind of illuminate what's right in front of you. The new O-Clip Pro S has the white. It has a UV light instead of the red light, and then it also has RGBs, which you can go through and change those out. Now, for me personally, the regular, I would say O-Clip Pro feels like something I would take over the the new Clip Pro S. I don't need that many RGBs, but if you feel like you need them for whatever reason, you can check that out. And then there's the Ultra. Better build quality. They're using the Olight aluminum on this. You can just tell the build difference on this one. This one is going to include the spot, the flood, and then you're going to also get that UV light on this one. So it's really just depends on which one works out for you. If I had to make my decision, it would be between the Clip Pro or the Clip Ultra will probably be. But the new one, if you want the RGBs, then you can check that one out. There are relatively good pricing, especially if you want to put it on like the shoulder strap of your bag. You're going to be very, very happy with that. You know, guys, I don't normally like to talk about smartwatches very often because I have a lot of gripes, moans, and complaints. But the Mibro, the GS Explorer S, okay, so they sent this out. They sponsored a video last week, and I was actually pretty impressed by this. You know, this watch really is designed for someone that wants to do some exploring. So if you're the type of person that wants to get deep in the woods, you want to set some waypoints, this does have a dual frequency GPS on it, waypoints when you're in explorer mode. So if you kind of get turned around, you can kind of get yourself out of a pickle. The battery life on this is God tier. They report that you can get 20 days in everyday mode. I actually kind of believe that. You get 2 watch straps. The case itself is titanium. But as much as this watch is cool, it's nice, I still cannot recommend that you get this for an everyday type of watch because I just like the elegance of a real watch, especially with today's video sponsor, which is Ver, and their S3 or their S5 calendar white field watches, because I think these look significantly more elegant. You can still use these in a survival situation if need be. But with the S3, you're getting a little bit smaller footprint. If you want the S5, you're going to get that big old beautiful. If you're trying to get something 40, 41, 42 millimeters, go for the S5. You also have the option of the S3, which is going to be a little bit smaller footprint. Both of them, I think, look really good in any outfit that you wear. They come with 2 watch straps, okay? So you're going to get 2 watch straps whenever you order these. I'm about to get ready to travel, so I'm already setting up my travel setup, and I'm not even taking a smartwatch. It's going to be all of just my nice, elegant watches, and I can still use these in a pinch to find myself out of an emergency situation. I like the fact that these have 10 atmospheres of dive pressure if you want to use those for dive situations. And they also have a lockdown screw down crown just to ensure that waterproof 2-year guarantee that you're getting on this. I'm a big old fan of these, okay? If you do have a smartwatch, I really want you to check out as well getting a real analog watch, because I think you're going to appreciate that as good as the battery life can be on any type of Explorer watch, these are much, much better because you're going to get way longer reserve time out of these batteries. So check out the links down below, and shout out to Ver for sponsoring today's video. And so it's just a real good thing to always be flexible with the gear that you have, especially with me personally. I like this new Proof wallet that I got in. Now, I've talked about Proof wallets for probably 2 years now, but this new brass version of the OG type of wallet, this is going to be in the pocket for me. Other than when I test out other wallets, it's going to be in the pocket for me quite a bit. This thing feels really good. I love the way it looks, gets tons of compliments, and it just really is going to patina. It's going to gather scratches really nicely. A nice area in the back for you to keep your cash. RFID blocking technology, easy for me to pull out and use my cards whenever I see fit, and it can hold up to 25 cards. And when I say this is the best for me for traveling, it's the best, because for travel purposes, I'm going to need business cards, medical insurance cards, driver's license, just also credit cards, debit cards, just everything ready to rock and roll. And that's why I really like the Proof wallet. You may want to check that out as well. They just released that new model, and I think it looks really, really dope. Hey, make sure you hit the like button on this video, because there's a lot more gear coming up, and it's going to help YouTube know to push this out to other folks so they can check out some of this stuff as well. The new micro sailor scissors from Nextool. Nextool is it's a brand making a piercing when it comes to multi-tools, and they're trying to do some knives as well. I really am going to be giving these to my daughters. So my daughters, years ago, I started them off with some Victorinox, some good old just Swiss Army knives. They've been doing really well with that. They've only cut themselves like a couple of times. And so they've learned a lot of how to use these in a more efficient way. This is a nice just pair of scissors. So I'm always having the girls break down boxes. So they're going to have the scissors for that. And then it's also going to include a Phillips, a slotted screwdriver, a can opener, bottle cap lifter. And actually, I think it's only a bottle cap lifter. I don't think it has can opening capabilities on this thing. Pry bar, slotted screwdriver. And then you also are going to get a pair of tweezers. I like that the fact that these come out in multiple colors. My daughters have been itching to get their hands on these, and I told them, hey, let me just do some content on them. And then I will get you get these for my daughters because I want them to be able to have these. Now we're getting on the airplane soon, so you can't take these on the airplane because of the scissors. Well, actually, you might be able to take these on because these are travel. And a lot of times TSA will allow for you to take scissors on. Just depends on how sharp they are. So what I will do is, for sake of testing these out for you guys, I'm going to travel with one of these. The purple one is probably going to go to one of my daughters. We also have the tan one. I will take this through TSA and report back to you whether they confiscated it or not. If they confiscated it, I'm going to throw it away, and I'll let you guys know whether or not I was allowed to take that through TSA. And then this other one here, I will give to my other daughter. We're going to put this in their check luggage so that they have some type of item with them while we are traveling where we're going. So I'll give the blue one to one of my daughters, and I'll give the purple one to the other one, and I'll travel with the tan one. I'll report back to you because they call these travel multi-tool scissors. Are these TSA compliant? I have taken scissors through TSA before, so I'm thinking these should be fine. But if I'm wrong, you guys will know about it. So, but check these out as well. I think these are great for having on a keychain, or if you just really want to have a multi-tool to give to a kid to teach them how to be more responsible with sharp items. Great little things to use. I'm always down with stuff like that. So you should definitely check those out as well. So Birbury, I think I'm pronouncing them correctly. They've seen my videos in the past talking about Leatherman multi-tools and the Wave Alpha, the Arc, Surge, whatever the hell I'm talking about. And they were like, hey, we really think you may like one of our multi-tools, and we want to send you one out to check out. So I got it in, and I will say this. The sheath, I like the fact that you can put this over the top of a belt. I like that the side comes with a little tool so that you can do replacements of the wire cutters. They give you additional wire cutters that you can replace for the wire cutters inside your pliers. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Then it comes with looks like a couple additional gradients of saw, and it looks like these are going to be good for wood, for speed saws. I don't think they're going to be able to cut anything like bigger than like a 3-inch bark, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So they give you some additional T-shanks. It also came with a bunch of bits, and these bits seem to be quarter size, double-sided. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 14 bits technically, because it's double-sided. So that's right here in the front. And then you get the multi-tool itself. Now, the price point on this, obviously, I think is going to be more competitive than what I think it's trying to mimic, which kind of gives me the vibes of the Surge. And just because I see this T-shank adapter, and I do see the diamond. So you do got a wood and a metal file here in the T-shank, and you can put those saw blades in here that they give you additional. The knife, this is just a, I guess for this one, the serrated blade would be okay for wood as well, or rope really was probably what this would be best for, or fibrous materials like cardboard. That would be really good for something like that instead of using a plain edge knife. Then you get a plain edge knife, which has a bit of a recurve on it. It doesn't tell you what kind of, the blade is not very sharp, and I've never used this blade at all. Like I can just feel it's not very sharp at all. And it's kind of what you're getting with a budget multi-tool. And then you're getting a pair of scissors. The scissors are not very sharp, even compared to this Nextool. I can feel the difference immediately. This Nextool scissors are very, very sharp. These scissors in this Birbury are not. I mean, they're gonna cut, but you know, you're gonna be disappointed of maybe how often you have to sharpen that. We'll see. Then you get the pliers. The pliers themselves, I mean, nothing to write home to mom about. Needle nose, regular pliers, wire cutters in the middle, no crimpers. And then you get an onslaught of tools on the inside. You get the quarter driver for the bit driver over here. You get ruler on the side of centimeters and inches. And then same thing here. So you get a full ruler set. And then you get a bottle cap lifter, can opener, pry bar, all combo. This all, it doesn't feel very sharp either. I don't know how well, alls are really designed to poke holes through crap. I don't know how well this one will work. I don't have anything to test it on right now, but it doesn't feel the sharpest either. So I guess this might be a decent multi-tool to use around like the house. Is this, or maybe keeping the cab of your truck. It also doesn't include a pocket clip. And maybe they have a way to add a pocket clip, but it doesn't have one on here. And if they're trying to mimic the Surge, which it looks like they're trying to do, the Surge does have the ability to have a pocket clip on it. And the Surge has a hidden lanyard holder, which this doesn't have. So I guess my initial impressions is if you want a Surge, save your money and get a Surge. Get that 25-year warranty. If you want something to just be able to have, maybe this would be a good way for you to go. I don't know if I'm going to test that out. It doesn't even feel, this feels like a giveaway out. I think I might just give this away, but we'll see. This next tool, this is some camp pliers. This is some camp pliers where they imagine that you would keep these if you're going camping, which we intend to do in Oklahoma this year. This knife feels way sharper than that Birbury tool I just had. Decent playing edge knife. You also get the saw, a wood saw, so you can use this for, it doesn't feel like it's going to be able to do the biggest branches in the world, but maybe like a 2-inch branch, something like that. You might be able to knock this out with that. You also get a ferro rod. I wonder if you get a removable striker, because this is, I guess if you have another knife, you can use that at the spine of a very sharp knife. You might be, let me see, is this knife, I don't know if this is a 90, if the, oh, it's a removable. So I guess you will actually, yeah, you can remove this and you can use it. Okay. So it's a removable ferro rod, which means that you will be able to use something in here to strike it. I don't know what yet. Maybe the knife I just showed you. So I guess a quick demonstration would be if you want to just sacrifice the very bottom. You shouldn't use the sharp end of a knife, but you can use, if in a very emergency situation, you can. Okay, so in an emergency situation, you can throw sparks with the very bottom of a knife, but you shouldn't do that because it does mess up the sharpness of the knife. But I'm assuming somewhere in here is a striker. Maybe it was right next to it. That's a pull stakes for a tent. And this is a can opener, slotted screwdriver combo. Maybe I'm missing the striker, or maybe what I just did is what they want you to do. I don't know. I don't have the instructions with me, but if I were trying to use this, or maybe it's built in, I'll explore this, but it does include a ferro rod. That's pretty dope that it has that built in so that you can use that. And then it has a big old pair of scissors, which Nextool is really good with their scissors. I just showed you on their smaller set pliers here. Their scissors are really well made. And then when you open this thing up, you get some butterfly pliers, which, listen, butterfly pliers might be good for you because they reset on their own. So if you have one hand on a workpiece and you're trying to work on something, every time you turn to loosen or tighten a fastener, you open it, it resets itself. So it lets you keep one hand on a workpiece better, but you don't get as much leverage with these type of pliers as you do with more traditional pliers. And it has built-in wire cutters that cannot be replaced. And it looks like that's all I'm seeing on this. So it looks like an interesting multi-tool. I do like the ferro rod. The maybe the strikers, I don't know. Anyway, you saw you could throw sparks with the knife. Maybe avoid doing that, but still seems like a nice little setup that you might be able to use. So next, we do have some new gear coming in from Montana Knife Company. Now, they've done some collaborations with some different brands in the past, and I've had a chance to check them out, but these are very everyday carry focused. We do have the Bit Bar Inline Max. This is a collaboration with Big Idea Design. So the Bit Bar I've never actually checked out before. Okay, I've checked out a clone, which I absolutely hated, and I'm glad. I think they may even taken that clone off of Amazon because it was very, very trash. It was not good at all. So I guess we'll use the Mini War Goat to get after it. Mini War Goat, fantastic little fixed blade knife. So you're getting this. If seal is broken, remove from inventory. All right. Very well. There you go. All right. So we got the thank you for your support. Don't join the exclusive Big Idea Design. You got some stickers. I like stickers to put on my iPad. This feels very well made. You know, I've never really checked out their inline drivers because I just really thought that they were just too pricey. But I understand now why they price them how they do. This one is an American made product, which a lot of stuff from Big Idea Design is made in America. Some stuff is made overseas. And then you get spares in here. Okay, nice. I guess hopefully this looks like it is using Leatherman style of, yeah, it is like a Leatherman style of driver here, where you load it up here. Looks like you pull this out, turn it around, and you can use this to drive different fasteners. You got a 1/8, a 3/32, a 0 Phillips, a 2 Phillips, a 1/4 slotted, a 7/32 slotted, a 4mm hex, a 5mm hex, and then the spares, you get a T6 and I guess a T8. Okay, this is actually a very well-rounded set. I would probably drop all these Phillips. I would probably get rid of one of these Phillips because although it is nice to have different size Phillips, I would probably put the T6, T8 in here, drop the Phillips, and then put this a part of an EDC kit. Nice little loadout right here. Nice little driver. Okay, I can appreciate that. Love the color on this. You got the Montana Knife Company logo on there. And then you have the tool itself. Yeah, this is dope. I like that. All right. So you got the driver. Then you also have Tactile Turn. This is the collaboration with Tactile Turn, Montana Knife Company. Of course, I love their bolt action pins from Tactile Turn. Some of the most important documents I've ever signed in my life have been with a Tactile Turn pin. This one feels like it's aluminum. It doesn't feel like steel. And it might be titanium. It doesn't really say. It feels really, really light. And if you're looking for light, this might be the way that you go. Okay. So let's check out how it lays down ink. Lays down ink just like I need it to, which is for my handwriting really crappy. Good to go. So I like the bolt actions that you get on these. Of course, you can always open this up, and it does usually use common refills. This has a Pilot G2 or G2 in here. So of course, you know, you can have your replacements ready. It just does feel a little lightweight compared to my normal. I will tell you this, the collaboration colors are dope, but I don't like how light it feels right now. I think I'm going to like it once I'm writing for a while, because I do get fatigued with writing with a Tactile Turn for an extended amount of time. But if I'm signing one document and I want it to be memorable, I want a nice, weighty, heavy pen. But for daily journaling, I think this would be a freaking god tier type of setup right there. I think that might be something that you might really like. So we'll leave that here. Nice little pen. Of course, hey guys, remember EDC trays available, link down below. If you're ever looking for something for your loadout or something like that, you definitely may want to check out my EDC tray. I think it's a very good winner, something that you may want to look at. Streamlight has come out with their ProTac rail mount the 1LX Pro. This is a USB version. They have two versions of this that came out, and they sent the USB version for me to test out. I'm going to be putting this on my 300 blackout. So it'll probably be on the 300 blackout. This is rocking Streamlight B9 rechargeable system. So for fits long guns with M-Lock, which is what I have on my 300 blackout, 10 tap programmable, 30,000 candela. That's freaking fantastic. In the 850 lumen. The lumen's great, but that 30,000 candela, I expect this to be a really clean, like just a very clean light. As in, like, it's going to be very easy and give clarity in a dark hallway or dark environment. So this is the light itself, and it's already ready to be mounted. I wonder if there's any charge in the battery. Let's see. This almost feels like it could be an EDC light, but the built-in mount may not make it so. So you are getting Yeah, it's pretty good. So strobe, is it always high? I guess I got to go through the 10 tap programmable to see if I can do that. Of course, you get the port right here so that you can put this onto your weapon and then plug up the actual, in the jack cap itself, you're going to get the remote, the pressure remote. So this is a jack cap version, which means that you're going to be able to put this on your weapon and plug up in the jack cap and use the pressure. So that's the mount. Here's the pressure plate right here. You plug this in the jack cap, and this will allow for you to use this in a from a certain distance on your weapon. This is ready to be mounted with M-LOK right here. So I'll probably play with this and swap out. Right now I do have a Coast on my 300 Blackout. This is much smaller. As much as I love that Coast, I love how small this footprint is, especially if I'm going to be pulling that weapon in and out of like backpacks or whatever. I think I'm going to want something a lot smaller. So I look forward to testing that out on the range. The next torch, this is the ND30B. This is 11,000 lumen. This is a tactical flashbang device. A lot of places you can't legally own a flashbang, not like a real flashbang. This has 130 decibels of sound, and it has 360 degree of light in its strobe. And so this has different modes that you can set it up for, but you basically pull it like a grenade, and then you pull it out, you toss it, and then after so many seconds, this thing will go off. And so it's kind of like a flashbang, but it's reusable. And this is going to be something good for home defense and to like disorient somebody that might be in a room or something like that. So if you're trying to, say for instance, you are trying to get to your kids in another part of your house, you can take something like this and, you know, remove it like literally like a grenade, take it, toss it. And this will maybe for you to get past an intruder so that you can get to your kids or so you can escape out of a room. I'm always ready for something like that. We have the Gunslinger Jack. This is by Jack Wolf Knife. I've always been a fan of Jack Wolf Knives, the way that they package their stuff. Now, the microfiber cloth that normally comes in these, I've already taken out and used elsewhere. But you get stickers. You get a little bit of, you get a poker, like a fake poker chip. You get some cat killer. And then you get the ability to, if you want to take off the pocket clip, you can take it off. And then they give you a screw to cap that off if you decide you don't want the pocket clip on there. And then you get a, you know, Jack Wolf Knife is really trying to get into more and more away from only slip joint knives. This is a great feeling. It has like a little bolster lock on it and well made. It has micarta, like well made micarta. Feels really good. And this thing itself is rocking S90V blade steel, very good blade shape, especially for like utility cuts, getting up on it and making those type of cuts. I think this is going to work really good for something like that. Feels fantastic, actually. I like the way that looks, like the way it feels. And if you're interested in it, my initial impressions are, yeah, especially how flicky it is. It's definitely a go for me as it stands right now. Now, I've already shown this in videos before, but I actually got this recently and I've been testing it out. This is the M4 Maverick bifold. This is their rail system. What I like about this is it does have a fold feature. So it has this leather right here. You can put cards right here if you want to. Then when you get inside, you can put like maybe your driver's license. And then you have this rail system, which you can load more and more cards into. And it holds about 6 cards in here. That's why I'm not using this for travel because I need more than that. Then it has another area in the back where maybe you want to put like another important card that you use, a little clasp to keep it together. So many accessories with these Dango wallets, and they're made in America, which is something else I like about them as well. They also have the regular M4 rail, which you can buy their money clip on there, which is made of titanium. Those wallets are fantastic, especially if you're trying to support made in America gear. You might want to check those out. Spyderco, especially with a lot of stuff they're making in America. I don't know if this sharpener is made in America, but they make a ton of stuff in America. Spyderco is about to celebrate their 50th anniversary. This is a great looking sharpener that I could use on different systems that are just too big for my current sharpening setup, which is by TS Prof, but this one is something I could use on a camp axe, on a hatchet, a maul, razor, scissors. It looks like I would be able to bring this to the device to sharpen it versus having to bring the device in for sharpening purposes. So I haven't pulled this out and tested it out yet, but it is a triangle sharpening system. You can either set it at 40 or 30 angles. So it's not going to be the best for a lot of pocket knives, because some pocket knives need to be set at like 15 degrees, some even at like 20 degrees. This one only does 30 or 40 degree angles. So that might be something that you might not be able to use, but it's going to be great for those larger items, especially like a lawnmower blade. Oh yeah, 100%. Also, Spyderco's collaboration with VanQuest on their Addicts 25 liter. I've been testing this out lately. We'll probably do a review on this. Only big complaint off I have right now over a week of testing has been no outboard water bottle pockets. I think this is gonna be a great bag for some scenarios, but for me, everyday type of stuff, I need a water bottle pocket. I'm always trying to quickly grab something to drink. And other than that, it does feel pretty good so far. But when I do my final review, that's probably going to be my #1 complaint. But I mean, just a nice treasure trove of stuff for you to check out if you're interested in expanding your everyday carry kit. I think you're going to be a big fan of some of the newest gear that's been getting released on the market. Buck's got a lot of knives dropping next month, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can check some of those out as well. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the Battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.